All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Realms of the Wild. Yes, this is our custom open legend RPG game set in our screwed up version of the Breath of the Wild universe, and the people below me are the full cast. Yay! Announcer moments. First things first, this is going to be our last episode of the year because in 2 weeks it's Christmas, and then the week after that is New Year's, and I have heard at least some members of the cast have like families.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so dark. Other members don't.
Other members don't.
What
Have
is
you
what
guessed
is-
I
Which
have
one?
disowned my family. So yes, this is going to be our last episode.
I mean, part has disowned me, so I'm okay with that.
The reason we actually are starting on time is we're hoping to get through this little storyline today. Whether or not that happens, we will find out, but it would be nice to go on hiatus just before we start a new storyline. So we will see. Second, apparently we make Zelda lo-fi now. I don't know what that means.
Care to comment, Alex?
Sure. Elias, your announcements always throw me, and I really should be used to them at this
Good.
point.
It's only 4 years.
You're
That's
right. It's
not
only
enough.
4 years. Alex, feel better about yourself.
Thank you, Ilea. I never do, but thank you.
Well, to be
So-
fair, he was like not there for a year and a half.
I was
where's
trying
my-
not to burn him.
Oh,
And then
where's
Jack
my
has
Jack's
no
coming in.
reservations.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Jax, how many d6 of psychic damage do I just take?
All of them.
Okay.
All of the D6.
A little less though, because you've been working on your pre-science
No.
for that year and a half.
True.
Hold on. Roll 8d6. I take 38 points of
Amazing.
psychic damage.
Oh,
So
sorry.
we teamed up with Stage 9 Music for a small compilation that's like 13 minutes long of Zelda lo-fi beats. And so there's about 12-ish minutes of it on our YouTube channel. And then the full mix can be found in the description of that video to Stage 9. I was not involved in getting that collaboration together, but it's on the YouTube channel. So if you want to just vibe out and listen, you could go listen.
Can
on
we use
YouTube.
it on our streams and promote it that way? I guess.
Mm, I don't know yet.
Okay, no worries. Not that I'm streaming, but just
Well,
curious.
we know that Nintendo is not litigious at all when it comes to their copywritten works and intellectual properties. So
There are
Yeah,
ways.
so I don't-
We just don't know if there's a way with this one.
Yeah. So
Because we just found out about it a few minutes ago.
Oh,
cool.
fair enough.
well, I mean, I knew about it.
I just found out about
Elias
it a
said
few
it.
minutes
Alex
ago.
knows all.
It's his pre-science. A year and a half, I'm telling you.
So
Do I need to take more psychic damage?
I'm sorry, D'Artagnan. We're going to kill Jael.
so the other thing I have to mention, simply because she's a friend of the channel, she's a friend of a couple of people here personally. Forrest Minish was watching the Game Awards last night and was a little bit let down because there was nothing by Nintendo there, which Jeff Keighley is the person that hosted it. He had no control over this, but it was probably
Jeff
the
Keighley
funniest thing I've
responded.
ever read, where Forrest Minish on Twitter goes, "When I die, I want Jeff Keighley to be there just so he can let me down one more time."
Mm.
And Jeff Keighley replied, "I will be there." It was
Oh.
amazing. I love it.
Mary
That's
and I
awesome.
saw it Thursday night, late at night, and I immediately I looked at it and went, oh my god, he responded, and sent it to her, and she just like freaked out.
I also feel
So
like we
good.
could read that as super dark, as in he will be there at the moment of her death.
That's what I thought.
So if Rebecca
Not how
goes
he meant
missing, we'll know why.
So anyway, I thought that was hilarious. And Jeff Keighley seems like the kind of person that has a decent sense of humor. So I think it was all in good fun. But oh, that was so funny.
I will be there. I will be the cause of it.
One of these days, I will convince Rebecca to come on this show. I have no idea how, but I will figure it out, or I will have Elias do it for me because I think Rebecca actually likes him. So
I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but you can dream, Jody.
I can dream. Hey, I got
Jody,
Amanda
dreaming
to
was
say she'd
banned.
be interested in being on this show, and she hates RPG
And has she
shows,
been
so-
on it yet? Didn't think so.
Simply because I have not had a chance to introduce a new character.
Stars shining bright above you.
I love that song. So we should probably return to the realms of the wild. Do want to start this off with a content warning. We have XUH.CW. If you ever want to see it in chat, effectively, we're going to be dealing with some very, very heavy topics today, including mentions of abuse, sexual assault, emotional abuse, and the like. If these are topics that you don't feel that you can handle right now, please feel no obligation to watch today. Taking care of yourself and your own mental health is always more important than anything else. And I like to put a little emphasis on this. Knowing what you can and cannot handle is a strength. It makes you stronger. So never think that this is some sort of weakness or that you can't handle this and that's somehow a bad thing. If you can identify the things that are going to make your life more difficult than other people's and are able to anticipate them and take actions before that in a world that's really not designed to help you out with that, you are an amazing, wonderful, awesome, strong individual, and you should be very proud of yourself. Don't worry about missing any relevant information. I do little recaps that don't have any of the content warning at the beginning of every episode, so you don't have to worry about missing anything important. That being said,
After we're done, there will be a content warning because we're going to kill this bastard and you'll be so happy.
if I could kill him, I would be so happy.
You said
Consent, Jody,
if.
consent.
So,
God bless us, except that guy.
the party has a
Fuck
plan.
that one guy in particular.
Man.
After arriving in the Courage Realm version of Zora's domain, they found it very different from what they were expecting. They discovered that the Courage version of Zulta was dead under rather nefarious circumstances. She'd been declared a River Zora, an ally of Ganon, and had been killed in an attempt to murder the king of the Zora. The party themselves didn't think that made sense. So they started investigating. They found an ally in the Inspector General of the Zora. And the more they found, the worse things happened.
For the quick props, Gesundheit for the most adorable sneeze. Please continue.
The longer they stayed, the worse it seemed Zulta became. She retreated into herself. She stopped interacting. She stopped acting much at all, the entire party could realize something very, very bad was going on. And as they discovered the lengths to what Jael had done to Courage Realm Zolta, they realized that not only did they need to clear Courage Zolta's name, but they needed to ensure that Jael could never do this to another Zora. Now they have a plan. They're going to use the PA system effectively of the city to trick Jael into meeting them, to hopefully secretly record a confession and get him captured. Whether or not that works, we're about to find out.
Before we continue, I do want to say thank both you and Trainer Jody and Kiri for playing my character. And yes, I approve
Oh,
of it all the time. and for the innuendos, I approve.
Did I miss what happened last week on that end?
Plan.
Effectively, they
We
found
volunteered Chax to help with something only Arel could do. And you just sat in the corner and said nothing. It was really weird, Pierre.
You know,
Pierre goes through these kind of like shifts in character where
Look,
he's really
I
talkative and
understand
then
we're
not
dealing
talkative
with
at
some
all.
hard stuff, but this is Zolta's trauma, and maybe you need to show up for her as a friend just a little bit more.
I have trauma.
Yeah, I'm not the only one you burned, Alex.
Did I get roasted twice?
I love you.
All right, hold on. Let me
It's a
roll
sign of
another
our love.
8d6.
No, stop it.
We saw
I have a heart out at 11.
we saw, solo pictures of you from a show, and we're like, well, we got to knock him down a peg now.
Thanks.
It's what we're
Out
here
of
for.
love.
Big for his Zelda breeches.
So, the plan that was developed last time is effectively ready if you guys want it to be. Is there any prep work that you guys want to do? To fill in those that weren't here, the plan is to send Arel in with Boole having a recording of your Zolta reading passages from the diary you found over the speakers to attempt to get Jael to come to the control room of the public announcements system.
To which point you'll realize it was a ghost.
Ooh. Oh, stop being a dick. He won't be having any Christmas Carol luck. We're just gonna kill him after we expose him.
So was there more beyond, like, were you guys going to try and deal with him in the because I'm trying to
No,
remember.
I wrote down the
There
two
was a
phases of the
location.
plan whenever I
There was a
texted
location
him.
good, it
we
was
were
in
going to
depth.
lead him to, because the thing that was recorded was vague enough that he would know, but it wouldn't alert everyone, so he would be more inclined to come alone
Yes.
to
But-
sort of silence this.
Phase
Yes.
1, Bull recorded Zolta. Okay, we covered all that, which includes hints of a location only Zolta and Jael know about. Arel and Bull shadow step out and meet up with us at the location. I believe it was in a forest. Phase 2, Jael arrives at the remote location, possibly with some trusted guards, away from everyone else. We have to get Jael to verbally admit to his crimes while Bull records the conversation. Once he does, we attack him and his posse, if it's there, as a distraction, while Arel and Bull abscond back to the inspector, and the three of them get back to the broadcast room and broadcast his confession to the city and to the king. The
So
rest of
Arel,
us
it would
survive
probably
and or escape.
be best if you stay
thank
out
you
of
for
sight the
writing it.
entire time.
I would like to propose Diary of a Gorgon as an offshoot of
Goron.
the game. Goron.
A Gorgon. Would
Yes,
be
well,
a
now
very
it's going to be a
different
Gorgon,
spirit.
and we're going to do some
Um,
Medusa stuff.
Medusa turns around and says, "So I have a new hobby, bombs."
Honestly,
I always
he
liked
is
you,
a rock
Medusa.
man. I would not be surprised.
That Demogorgon. Not only do we turn people to stone, we then blow them up.
Oh, and now there's a
Great
love
fun.
story here with Medusa turning everyone else to stone. He's already stone.
Oh, they could eat rocks.
This is cute. I love it.
Anyway, okay. I think it would be best for Arel to like not be seen by Jael at all. Like, her and Bull like hanging out hidden.
I approve this message and reroll tokens are probably required.
Yeah. Just a plea to the chat. We're about to go into something that could get us extremely dead. I have legend points. I'd always love more. Got some
Okay.
reroll tokens. Just saying. Yes. The gore gun, a gun that petrifies.
Kiri has
How
just had
much
a
time?
revelation.
How much time do we have till he meets us?
Not long.
I have some
couple
schematics to
hours.
start.
Oh, we need a communication device still.
I just saw
Oh, yeah.
every
But it won't be ready in time.
I just saw her light up like a Christmas tree. Oh my god.
Also, thank
just
you.
a sweater.
Thank you, Chex. These are my blue light blockers.
Very cute.
They're very smudged. Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay,
I have
so-
found that glasses can get smudged without anything ever touching them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Mhm.
My glasses are constantly covered in shit.
Yes. Shows the cleanliness of your outside
So-
environment.
I live in LA. I get constant warnings about the air quality. I don't need to be reminded in any other way.
You just said that with a raspy voice too.
I
Yep.
did.
I live in LA. We know it's smog.
We know it's bad.
it sounds like we're smokers. All
Who bothers taking up smoking? All you have to do is go out and have a nice inhale of fresh air.
What is his name? He wrote the libretto for Newsies.
Alan Menken?
Shut
No,
up,
no.
Mencken.
Maybe I'm thinking that
Harvey
he talks
Firestein?
like this. Harvey Firestein. There we go. He played.
Did he write the Newsies libretto?
Yeah, he played. What was it? Edna in.
Yeah.
Hairspray.
Oh, he
Hairspray?
did write the actual show. Oh,
Yeah, he is brilliant. He's one of the coolest
You
guys
didn't
ever.
know
Anyway,
that.
so but back to the game.
Okay, so I'm so sorry. I got distracted. So I'm going in with Bool
Mhm.
and playing him over the system and then doing a magic act.
Yeah, so
And
real.
you're
We've
getting
been
the
over this
heck out of
plan
there
like 5
before-
times.
Before, before
I know,
anyone
but
sees
I'm a
either of
rel.
you.
I got distracted by other people's hotness, okay?
Oh.
Especially
Okay,
my
but
new
we need-
fiancés.
Oh.
God damn it.
One more.
When we sunset these characters, Arel is just going to have like everyone else is like, this is what I do. This is the Chax is just going to read off a list of fiancés that lasts for an hour.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that
No.
Arel has their own side mission to win the game, and it's get everyone to be my fiance.
It's like the version of like when like you can get extra points in Settlers if you make the longest road. This is her version of that. The longest
You were
list of
not wrong.
fiancés engagements.
You were not
Anyway,
wrong.
yeah.
So, is there
All
any
right.
other prep work any of you want to do, or any
I think we did it all.
any conversations you want to have before all of this goes off? Because effectively, what's going to happen next is going to be we're going to deal with what happens with Arel, and then everyone else is going to already be waiting in the forest.
Yeah.
About to say,
I
you
think
guys look at Aruna, and he's just like already got a bomb in hand, just standing in a spot in the forest, just like looking around, waiting.
So if we're in this spot in the forest and she's gonna shadow step from there to the thing, what is there any describe the space to me so I can set plots and traps and all that?
Of
All right,
course.
they were gonna set traps.
So the particular place in the forest where you guys have decided to lay your ambush is a place where Jael brought Zulta on their first date.
Training
which-
session.
Well, that was what
No,
was.
we're
kind of
gonna not talk
pitched.
about this anymore. Let's just talk about logistics.
Gotcha. In it, there is a relatively small creek. Could be the best word for it. It's not large enough to be a river, and it empties into a small pool that actually has a bench that are there, and so that's in the center of this place, and then there are very large trees all around it that keep a canopy above it, except for in the very center, a single beam of light illuminates the central pool and the bench.
Okay. So I know it wasn't like an immediate, like we had to give some kind of time frame for him to meet us. Yeah.
Mhm.
So here is my proposal for an added convolutedness to this plan. And I'm sorry about that. I would love if Jael were to think, because he's probably going to try to get there before us, because he has no way that to know that Urel can shadow step. I would love for him to think he gets there before us. So if he can think he's in control and he's had like an ability to lay traps or something. What do you guys think?
Are you saying that we should lay traps and then leave to right outside the perimeter and then have him show up and be like, this is my turf now? And then we show up, but we're the ones really in control.
Essentially.
Okay.
We could
I like that
even
idea.
have some of our like potentially, I don't know, Pierre, if you want to actually hide in the space somewhere if you wanted, or that kind of thing where like, and then
I could.
I don't know. What do you think would put him off the guard most? Sweetheart, do you feel up to contributing, or it's okay if not? I just you got the most info here.
I was just about to respond to Emperor P in chat saying that sometimes you have to cut up the burrito ingredients to make the good burrito. So
Really quick before this happens, Elias from Emperor P, take a great fairy heal. Legend point to Alex. Hold a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alex, take 10 legend points from Emperor P.
Dang.
Congrats to Alex for his show.
Oh, thank you.
yay!
I'm
There
There
Which
are
I would say-
pictures.
In
Yes.
regards to splitting the party,
By two
yeah,
is
for some
adequate.
people who are dumb about it, it doesn't work. But for some people, mainly raptors, that's how you become a clever girl.
And we all know Cass is a clever girl.
I want you to know I now have 2 great
Have a
fairy
girl.
heals banked.
Yay.
I would like to point out there's the difference between quote unquote splitting the party and creating a plan where you can come at the enemy from all sides.
Yeah, this is a pincer attack because we're technically not splitting. We are literally hiding outside to pretend like we're just arriving while other people hide
Okay.
inside.
That sounds good. What traps are you
Okay.
guys going to set?
Let's see. What do I have on me? I think we should try and set up some bombs
Oh, yeah, okay.
that we can trigger at our.
Iruna takes
Own
the bomb he's
discretion.
already holding and puts it in his other palm and gets another one out. What kind of bombs do you want to set?
Well, okay. This is kind of an inlet, right? Is that correct? That it's
I
kind
don't know
of like
what that means.
locked up. I'm talking to Jody.
Kind
Like
of.
the space. Okay. Can you come in from any side or?
Yeah, the trees are not dense enough that you can't walk in from any side or walk out.
Okay.
quick addendum. Take another Great Fairy Heal, Elias, and then legend points for everybody but Alex from Emperor P. So
That's
one
fair.
legend point each.
You.
Just dumped 10 on my face and was like, ha.
I'm currently checking to see if I have any heals banked.
I don't
The
have
answer
any heals
is
banked, but I have a
no.
bunch.
Okay.
I don't have heals, but I have a bunch of legend points there.
So I am talking to my dairy construct. And
That might have been another thing you missed.
No, I was there for that. I just forgot that it was a thing.
Only Kiri missed that.
Zulta can now create shadow beasts. So enjoy.
Shows the
I made a
strongness of our connection.
Oh dear. Okay.
So I'm going to have him hang out in the branches of the tree so he's hidden and can then attack Zhao when he comes in.
Emotional support shadow beast.
Okay. So where should the bombs be placed here? You asked the sky if it was an inlet or something.
The sky.
Yes, Kess. This is the sky.
Oh, sky above, please advise where good places to hide explosives that would be advantageous to us would be. No, I'm kidding.
Careful, that might be the PA system.
Fair.
Wait, is this thing on?
Wow.
All right, Peyton, calm down, dude. Counting is hard.
I don't see the reason.
I honestly don't know, y'all.
Did
It was an
Peyton
idea I
just-
wanted to
Elias,
throw out, but
5 legend points from
I'm not
Peyton.
sure.
Excellent.
Peyton is using up all of his
Your bribery
rupees,
will
huh?
get you nowhere, but it's
I
appreciated.
mean, this feels like a good time to do it.
It'll get me somewhere.
Do we? Ooh. Hang on.
If you want, I can just place the bombs in like a circular type pattern that are all connected to a single fuse that I can ignite from a distance.
That sounds good. Let's do that.
I was about to say, can you remote like detonate or
Well,
start?
not really remotely, but you know, they connect through like a string that then lights up, and then
We should
does-
probably make sure they're more. Should they be damage dealing or more distraction based?
Well, the distraction one was like ginormously.
I can
loud.
make a mix of both.
Yeah.
I can make the ones closer to where we think they might be damage based, and then the ones that kind of surround that area distraction based, so they can't see too well what's going on.
I think your
Um,
last distraction based one was damage dealing as well.
It was
So,
okay.
they
Never
all
mind. Let's just
kind
go
of
with that.
deal damage.
It also
Um,
was. It also was loud enough that like
If anyone
like,
wants to
disrupted
give me a
everybody.
great fairy heal, I could do something dangerous.
How about the person who can escape can do something dangerous?
No, because we need you to go back to the thing.
Well, I'm gonna beat Jael back though.
No,
'Cause I'm
we need you to
considerably fast.
take Bool.
You're leaving twice.
You're leaving twice. Remember, you got to take Bool to the inspector. The moment we get that
Oh.
confession.
That's right.
From Emperor P, Kess, Great Fairy Heal.
Yes. Thank you for encouraging my questionable decisions. All right.
Okay,
I
so
think we're good to
going-
go then.
going to the room with Boo, putting it on the announcement, going back to you guys, getting the confession on Boo again, then going to the inspector.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Whee.
Okay. Well, if that sounds good to you, we're gonna start placing bombs in a few likely locations where we think this battle might happen. A few clearings and stuff like that, wherever we think confrontation may appear. He starts to place, like you described, more damage dealing bombs towards closer in there, and then outside of that, more flashy bombs that do that. Starts to connect them over a wire. Turns to Kess. I guess we should probably try to hide these bombs, huh?
Yes. Yeah. They
Probably.
should be hidden.
Cool. How do we do that?
I would like to hide a bomb.
Okay, there's
Any
one right
particular
next
way
to
you want to hide it?
I feel like having a bomb to hide gives Zolta something to keep her attention focused on.
Well, let's.
So is there no like? Wait, maybe we shouldn't actually put the bombs in the place, because if he looks around when he's trying to set his quote unquote own traps, maybe us just knowing is good enough.
So
What
do you want me to
if-
pick up these bombs that I just played?
What if you place some like black powder all over the ground? Because that'll be less evident, and then you can.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, if we used like
Could set up
gunpowder
multiple
scattered
barriers.
around, it would essentially just look like dirt.
Exactly. You're rubbing off on me, Kess.
I don't need
I like
to know
the way you
about
think.
that.
I'd be rubbing up on her.
Zolta is currently hiding a bomb in a
Same
bush.
Or rubbing off.
I pick up every bomb that Zolta is not hiding in a bush.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna. Yeah. All right. And it looks cool. Cool. All right. Let's do this.
All right.
And just in case, I would also like a bomb just on my person, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, sure. Does anyone else need a hand explosive?
I'll take one if you're
Anyone,
offering.
anyone want a bomb?
Yay, bomb!
I've got extras. If
Give
anyone,
one to Pierre. Give one to Zolta. Did you want one to Aurel?
I always want your bombs.
Okay. Oh, you want multiple? Well, here's one. And
Let
here's
me
the other.
carry one right.
Aurel is
Oh.
now completely covered in bombs.
You look
just-
like the
I
kid
just
from
see
A Christmas
Aruna
Story,
coming
except
in-
it's
if I-
bombs.
if I make a bomb, you guys will have one, right? Like if I make bombs, you guys will all have one, right?
If we get bombs on the table, you'll all have one. Okay.
Is
we'll get,
anyone
We'll get bombs
else
for the table.
Do we have ways to light it?
is anyone else familiar with Blues Traveler?
Familiar.
No.
no.
Okay, so the guy that has like the vest with all the harmonicas,
Okay.
I imagine Aruna with a vest just with all the bombs.
I mean,
Yeah, I've got a hand bomb.
I could put them on a vest, but
Hey, you want?
I can
some
fit a lot
bombs?
more in my bomb bag. Okay, well, takes them all up, distributes hand bombs to everyone. Lets Zolta hide the one, and then starts laying out as much as he can with like natural looking dirt, and either making it sparse enough to where it doesn't stand out against the dirt. They're already similar in color and texture and stuff, but just trying not to make it stand out as much.
Yeah. Go ahead and make me a perception check to see if you can kind of match it and keep it hidden.
Um, 20.
20. Cool. All right. So you think you've fairly well kind of disguised your black powder to keep it dense enough that it actually will explode, but sparse enough that it won't tip him off, you hope.
Okay, done. Look at all that black powder you don't see.
Amazing. Look at all that black powder you don't see. Okay.
All right, are we ready for this?
I'm ready.
As ready as we'll be.
Are you
Yes.
two ready?
Yes.
All right. So
Okay, Bible in a row.
the stage is set.
I'm gonna kill some bitch.
Only got
Only got
20 bombs in my pocket.
This is fucking awesome. Sorry.
Walk in the inlet, like, what up? I got a big.
I got a
Mhm.
big
Bomb.
bomb.
Is that a bomb in your pocket? Or are you just happy to see me? Both.
I'm so pumped about this construct. From the something. I don't know yet. My brain's not
But
fully
hey,
working
it was
today,
only
sorry.
5
Arel.
rupees.
Now you retreat back into a personality that you've taken on before. Up till this point, traveling with this group, you've been part of a group. Always had someone there to rely on. Now you are the lone wolf again, acting entirely on your own. It's strange to get back into the mindset of someone that has only themselves to rely on. But it fits like a well-worn glove. The city is on high alert now. You all have been declared terrorists and assassins who have used Ganon's magic to resurrect the corpse of Zulta in order to help her fulfill her goal of killing King Zora. Let's start this off with an agility roll to see how stealthy you are making your way through the city.
Oh, you muted yourself, Chex.
It was like flashing. That was weird. Okay, I'm going to use 3
been
lesson
caught.
points. I
Blink.
have been. It's not the flashing I was thinking of, but
That and then the Kill Bill theme starts up the moment someone sees her.
all right. 42.
Yeah,
Answer to life, the universe, and everything.
that's my
Let's
little
go.
assassin friend.
Aggressive agility.
So you make your way into the city, Harel. Having lived in this city now for almost a day, it's interesting just how alien it feels in a now. As you walk through, the streets are mostly empty, except for the occasional guard patrol. As you shadow step between buildings, you sometimes get the ability to look in windows and see families huddling away. You see parents reassuring their children that the bad people are going to be caught. They don't have to worry about the evil beasts coming to get them at night. You see older children arguing with parents, saying that they should be out there helping protect the city, helping protect their king, and the parents shutting them down, gently but firmly. The closer you get to the main building itself, with the public announcement system, the more frequent the guard patrols become. But for you, patrols are simply another dance to be danced. You even start getting bold, making noises just to attract them to certain places, simply to shadow step to the opposite way, walking in broad daylight in some points just because you can. You finally get to the building itself. And the first thing you notice that bothers you and instantly makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up is the building is almost deserted. This is the headquarters of the guards, and yet there's no one here. Now that you've seen this, what would you like to do?
Oh, if only I had a way to talk to the smarter people. Um,
I'm working on it.
Walkie-talkies are hard.
yeah, especially at this distance. Well, I'm going to continue on with the plan and get into the
Well, we
The
were
broadcast
specifically
route.
planning, and you were there for that. We were specifically planning to arrive during time where there was a gap, weren't we?
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There's a 5-minute gap. Cool. Then in I go. Stealthily.
I will mention the 5-minute gap was just meant to be the guards actually guarding the room itself.
Right. So
Ah.
going in
I
and
will-
arriving during that gap.
Yeah. So I will mention the entire building being abandoned was not part of the plan.
Oh.
So if that changes how you want to approach the situation.
Oh, Fluff, where? Boo, what should I do? This
Bull
looks
looks
suspicious.
Bull looks up at you. You
Who
should
could
go
scan for life
play
forms?
the message as was the plan.
I want to roll Bull into the building. Go, see what you find.
Don't you dare abandon my tiny son.
Okay, hold up. Is
Listen,
he
I
a
was gonna be
battle bot now?
with him. He's just going to look.
Pokebull,
battle
go!
I entrusted you with like the second most important person in my life.
Beyblades.
Beyblade.
Ibruna is very upset if he hears that.
So, again, Aurel, what you want to do?
So I'm gonna make my way to the control room.
Okay.
The
As you go
broadcast room.
through, having had the experience of jobs gone bad before, you get this feeling in the pit of your stomach. And the closer you get to the room, the worse it feels. Something about this feels wrong. You get to the room itself, no one's there. You okay?
Yeah, sorry.
The door's unguarded. It seems to be unlocked even.
Okay. Either our police investigative friend did something, but this feels really bad. So I kind of feel like we should go back, Boo, because this doesn't seem right. But then that would ruin our plan. Let's see if we can peek into the room. Oh, wait. I'm in the room. There's no one there.
You
Sorry.
haven't quite entered the room yet. You
Oh.
check to see if the door's unlocked, and it is.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Then let's see. No kidding. Boo, what do you see in this room that the door is now cracked?
Boole does a quick scan as well as he can.
Which is quite well.
An increase in iron, blood.
Oh, well, this seems like a good idea. Gosh darn it. How did they know?
No life forms detected.
Oh, but they're dead.
If you'd like to open the door a little further and try and peek in yourself, you could get a better little look.
Yep, let's do that.
Okay. Again, not very difficult. The door itself is very well oiled, makes almost no sound. You open it up. There's no one in the room. But there are splashes of blood on the floor. Not like pools of it, just little flecks of blood here and there. You see on the desk where the announcement system is set and the microphone would be, is a cap caked in blood. Looks remarkably similar to the inspector's picket cap.
No. No. Okay, I'm going back to the team. Well, I don't like this. Let's get back. They know. We have to
Okay.
change plans.
As you get back out to the city itself, there are a lot more guards out there than there were before. And they are lining up in ranks.
Ah, all right, let's shadow step back. We got to inform. We got to let them know what's going on. So
I
we
will
can
say,
prepare.
with how they are set up, you do not have an avenue where you could shadow step close enough.
Even to the top of a building?
Yeah, the building itself is kind of on its own. You were able to get there before because they weren't like, they literally have now lined up all around the building. They have torches and things like that. They have eliminated most of the shadows near the building. So just shadow stepping is outside of the realm of reason.
Okay.
Getting a little more clever, maybe running, jumping, then shadow stepping, things like that is not. I'm just saying you're gonna have to be slightly more clever than just a shadow step.
Right. Is there a window that we passed on the way?
Tons of windows.
Okay, cool. So I want to.
And it's a 3-level building. So.
And we are on the top. Where are we?
You are wherever you would like to be. The broadcast room is effectively, it's kind of like a tiered temple kind of thing for the building. And the broadcast room is basically dead center on the second level. So you, because the building is effectively abandoned, you can be anywhere in the building you would like to be.
Okay. Then, shoot, because if we start the broadcast and they end up marching while I'm still gone, then they don't know. But maybe that'll draw them into the room at the very least, and I can escape through a window. Huh. All right, let's but there's a cap in this, but let's get out of there. So I'm going to go to the nearest window and peek
Okay.
out and see if there's an area that's not being watched and get to the roof.
You're absolutely certain there's no body in there.
There's just blood scattered everywhere.
No,
Correct.
no, yes, there's blood flecks, like someone was bleeding in the room, but they're not like pools of blood or anything like that.
But there's his
So-
hat. Why would he leave his hat? Maybe to let us know he was there and it hurt.
His hat completely caked in blood.
Or it's to fake his death.
Maybe, but it's in the room.
And Arel,
the
if you would
journal.
like, you have no problem getting to any level of the roof that you would like to.
Okay. All right, then let's go over to the, or I'm going to go over to the PA system and see if it's still functional. And
As you go over to the PA system, it seems to have been damaged to be inoperable. And Boole
Out of
chuckles slightly because the
he
damage
can
they have done
fix it.
is not a problem for Boole.
I love my son so much.
have a pretty great
That's a nice
son.
touch to program Chuckles into Boole. It's a good. it's a good one.
Look.
It seemed like something Kess would have done.
Kess has not had a lot of friends in the past. Okay, so she's had to build them.
That's
Who else
fair.
is gonna laugh at her really nerdy jokes?
Hi, I'm right here.
So Boole mentioned, Boole effectively says
thought we were done.
it'll take him less than a minute to
I love my
get it
son.
working again.
Okay.
Like they
Boole,
They
Let's do that.
intentionally made it so that someone that had no idea how the technology works would never be able to do this.
So if I was on my own, I'd be screwed,
Yeah,
and not
probably.
in the good way. Okay, cool. Let's see if we can still project this.
Okay.
Do your magic.
Boole solders a few wires together. Again, it was a damage that was meant to be repaired because they want to be able to use this a little later. Very simply gets it. Turns to you. Ready for broadcast, Burrell.
All right. Play your music, little ball.
Ball.
Play it again.
So the rest of you,
Little
it.
bull. Sorry.
the time for the broadcast was supposed to be a very specific time because she would only have that 5-minute window. The window comes and passes.
That's not good.
That's a problem.
Well,
Eventually-
It's just Darrell, it'd be a different, but Boole is very aware of schedule.
Do you have access to? Can you like remote into Boole to like talk to her and be like, hey,
No, we're working on it, but
gotcha.
I have schematics. But schematics won't help us right now.
No, they won't.
While you guys are doing this, you suddenly hear the announcement system. And then you hear Zulta's voice.
Oh, there it goes.
There we
Must
go.
have been
Okay.
Some delay.
She starts describing a date they went on. One member of the party thought it was consensual, kept trying to encourage the other one that it was consensual, that everything they had done was consensual, but it wasn't. It keeps going on, describing how hard he tried to convince her that she was in love with him, that nothing that had happened had been wrong. And then it ends with the phrase, she's still waiting there.
Well, I guess phase 1 worked.
After that ends, I want Arel to go to the PA system and just say, everyone, we might get a divorce.
Was that
Because
part
that's
of
an
the,
obvious sign that something is wrong.
was that part of the plan?
No.
This was
Oh.
not discussed with
dear.
me. I don't know if it was discussed with any of you.
Something's gone wrong and she can't tell us over the thing.
Well, okay, so we've already baited him here. Should we go there now, or what?
Well,
Nope.
no. If he's already baited in here,
I think we should get in places and hide, but we
Yep.
should be on extra guard because Arel has let us know that something is up.
Well,
I
Pharrell-
think
It
it's
also
Pharrell
means
and
we
Bull
probably
don't
should
come
find
We
back.
might
some
get a
sort-
divorce. Something is very, very wrong.
We
I
should also be prepared for we might have to find some kind of backup of catching him in the act because for all
In
we
the
know,
act. What?
we might have to come up with a second thing because if they're not able to get back in time, if whatever is wrong,
Okay. In the meantime, I would like Arel to climb to the roof.
Okay.
Um,
As you leave the room, you hear doors opening very loudly below. You
Thank
hear
you.
footfalls.
someone didn't like that.
Oh, no.
As you make your way up, you can hear the guards are pretty close behind you. As you get to the roof and you could climb out, you hear over the announcements, attention,
oh, but we took
attention,
Boole, so
citizens
we should have
of,
opened it.
well, you didn't mention
I know.
breaking it again. So.
I know. I'm sorry.
Attention, citizens of Zora's domain. The assassins are here. If you see anyone that is not a guard, immediately make as much noise as possible. We must catch them before they assassinate the king. Guards, you are authorized to use lethal force with no provocation.
I have so many notes about how Zora's security system is so fucked.
I think it's really just Jael's security system here.
No, I know, but I'm like the fact that he can have like all reigning power. I'm like,
Well,
you see how your system of government is full of holes.
I took notes about that and how the king, it relates to the king, but
It's impressive what fear can do and what liberties you're willing to give up due to fear.
Not
As
a
has been
commentary on
seen.
real life whatsoever.
I also saw the
What?
Star Wars
Well,
prequels.
I wasn't going to go that far, but I can say in history we have tons of examples of people being put in power that 100% should not have been 100% due to fear. So
Is anyone else here sneaky?
I mean, I can be sneaky. Where exactly are we? Like, are we in a clearing somewhere?
you're
We're
in
in a
a forest
Are in a
about
forest.
20 minutes outside of the city, effectively.
Can I fly up to a tree to get a vantage point and just to see where they are? Would I be able to get like a jump on them and get an idea of where they are specifically?
You can fly. You would be the only thing in the sky.
Oh, there's no
um,
trees I can like get onto a branch for?
You can. The place that you're in right now is heavily wooded enough that you would not be able to see excessively far. If you were to actually fly above the trees, you could see really far. You could see the city itself.
That is
However,
gonna
you would be the only thing in the sky. So
And I'm not about to do that.
But we want them to go.
You just
where
gotta
are.
fly under the radar.
So that would be a signal.
So while you're figuring that out, Arel, you are on the roof. You can see there are still some guards outside, but the majority of them have gone inside. There is much more room for you to be sneaky. It's going to be difficult, but you think if you wanted to try and shadow step your way out of there, you could. I am going to have you actually make an agility roll to do it, if that's what you'd like.
You want agility, not entropy? Which is what I normally use to
Technically,
shadow step.
your shadow steps automatically happen because of that baboon, that feat. I mean, the difficult part is going to be getting to a point where you can shadow step, which would be more of an agility base to the task.
Okay, perfect. Then I'm going to use another 3 legend points because this is kind of important.
Okay.
So let me make sure I clicked the right button. Yep. Okay. Here we go. 38.
nice.
Cool. So this is significantly more difficult than before. You shadow step your way down the building using the roof as your highway. You eventually get to the ground level, and as you shadow step, you mistakenly don't 100% look where you're going, and you stop literally right behind one of the guards, close enough that you can tell that they forgot their deodorant for the day. You
What
sit
about
there literally within inches of this person. You feel their back tense slightly as they start to turn, and you're gone again, shadow stepping your way through. You have quite a few close calls where you'll shadow step to a place not realizing something that makes noise there, or you'll go to another place and guards come around the corner right as you shadow step. But for the most part, you're able to make it to the edge of the city without incident. You can now see the forest ahead. The forest is almost entirely shadows. Without making a single step in this realm, you can make all the way to your location. My question to you is there anything you want to do before you enter the forest?
I want to see if I can see any signs of like the troops or Jael heading our way.
Sure. Make me a perception check.
36.
Damn. Looking behind you, you noticed the troops seem to be almost intentionally not going in this direction. You are at a point where you're actually a little bit higher than the base city itself, so you can see most of the city. You can see the movements and things like that. And someone seems to have directed them to look everywhere but here. And just before you're ready to give up, you see a single large lone figure start heading in this direction.
Is he moving quickly or slowly?
He's moving deliberately.
Okay.
So neither quick nor slow.
Okay. I'm going to get back to where everyone is and let them know what's going on.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
The rest of
Pierre,
it-
maybe you could fly like under the trees and just, you know, like brush off the branches or the
Hi,
leaves.
guys.
Oh
Hey.
my goodness.
Before you get there,
Oh, okay.
you all hear the announcement, and then you hear the second announcement from Jael.
Mhm.
And all of you feel your blood run cold a little bit when he talks about the lethal force. Also, it happens less than a minute after the broadcast ends. So Jael had to be in the exact spot that Arel was less than a minute after the broadcast ended.
Well,
this
that-
is why
she got
I'm,
out.
I'm
She had to get out.
brainstorming
She
with
had to
Pierre
get
on how
out.
to
She
get
had to
there.
get out. She had to get out. She
Yeah.
had to get out.
With this information, do any of you want to change your plan?
If
I'm-
Rel doesn't come back in the next 5 minutes, I will fly over.
Again,
But you could like
you
fly.
would all know it would take her about 20 minutes to get here. So you effectively have 20 minutes before Arel is at
Okay.
the earliest would be able to. So for
okay.
that 20 minutes, is there anything you want to do, or do you just want to wait, hoping that she made it?
If you're the stealthiest Pierre, maybe you could like fly in between the trees to the very least the edge of the forest to maybe like see if they're looking for her or have found her maybe.
Maybe.
And
I don't
then you
wanna-
can go from
I
there.
being the only thing in the actual sky is too much of a risk. I can go as close as I can, but like maybe being on the trees.
Yeah, just
see?
like right above or maybe like slightly below the treetops so that you're kind of just at the same level of the trees.
And who says it? I mean, I can just fly onto like the tallest branch.
You could also just maybe like jump from tree to tree using, you know, some flaps as some extra jumping.
That is a
distance.
plan. Let me
Kaku
do that. Real quick.
jumping.
I was about to say that would be so cute.
I can do that for a second just to see where people
Okay.
are.
I just got an image of Iruna picking up Pierre like a cuckoo and jumping off a cliff as Pierre's flapping and you're slowly descending.
I'm not used to this.
Don't make me get my friends.
It's okay. We got the 10 rupees on the cliff. We're good.
I swear to God, Aruna, I will drop kick you into the next dimension.
So
I'm gonna break every bone in my body, but I will do it.
Pierre, you learned to fly effectively in two different places. One in Tabantha, on a flying city, the remnants of one, where you really didn't have obstacles to dodge around. You had open air. And then secondly, on the battlefield.
Which was an
Um,
open battlefield, so I'm about to go on disadvantage, aren't I?
No, I'm not going to make you roll because you can figure it out, but it is a
Okay.
very unique experience, and you do get some bumps and bruises going through it.
Do I take damage from it?
No,
Okay, cool.
you are just very uncomfortable. Any damage you would take would be non-lethal, which goes away after 5 minutes.
Great. Excellent.
So as you're flying through Arel, as you're shadow stepping, you eventually hear the sound of branches breaking every so often, a colorful word in Rito.
Fuck.
And eventually you see Pierre slam into a branch,
Oh,
land.
ow.
Pow.
Huh? Oh. Arel. Oh, thank God. Are you okay?
Hello. Yes, I'm okay, but where is everyone? We need to talk. Also, do you need me to kiss your head better?
Now is not the time, Arel.
I
I can be quick.
we're still wait, we were actually I was looking to see whether or not you were still on the way. Come on, let's get back.
Okay.
I will come down from the trees and just usher her to come
down from the tree. It's
And
easy
not- so
enough
I'm
to
not, like, hitting myself.
try.
All right. So back we go.
So you guys make it there. You took you about 10 minutes to get out to her, 10 minutes to come back.
Sorry, I have a question.
Sure.
Walking, how long does it take to get from the broadcast station here to where we're going?
Effectively, it's been about 25 minutes since the broadcast.
Right. But Jael's walking here versus shadow
You're
stepping.
thinking you might have an additional 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because the last 10 minutes of your journey, you couldn't shadow step because you had a Pierre with you. And
because I have.
Well, I can shadow step without a Pierre.
well, yeah, if you want to leave Pierre behind, you totally can.
All right.
Wow.
So I guess I will ask you that. Do you go with Pierre or do you leave him behind?
Pierre, we have a problem. There are many people coming after us, and I need to inform the rest of the team. So can you get back as quick as you can?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to continue shadow stepping to where the rest of the team is.
Okay.
And I'm gonna. My walk speed faster than my fly speed.
In
No,
a
I
heavily
think-
wooded area like this, you haven't
Nope.
quite mastered dealing
So
with that.
I'm just gonna book it.
All right. I'd like you to choose even or odd.
Oh God. I'm an odd guy.
Yes, you are.
All right.
Going to balance it out by choosing even.
As you are walking, suddenly you smell ozone in the air. You hear the crackle of thunder. Does a 30 hit your guard?
By exactly 10. Well, shit.
Ignore the roll on this. I'm just doing that to put the status effect in there. As you're walking, you suddenly
Action.
feel lightning streak across your body and something cut you relatively deep as one of Jael's spears slashes through you. Charged with electricity. You feel the electricity start binding your muscles. You are stunned. Which means you are limited to either a single move action, a single major action, or a single minor action.
How long does this last? Or I can just do a resist.
You can do a resist, which would be your move action.
I need to move to them and warn them that they are directly on our tail.
We would hear that thunder, right?
He is far enough out that you wouldn't directly hear it. You're still, because Chax or Arel gets to you a little bit faster, he is still just barely outside hearing range.
So there was no sound of thunder. It was just
it was
okay.
just he charged his spear with lightning and hit him. So
Man, he has really good accuracy through these dense trees. Jeez and crackers.
Pierre, you are close enough that if you made enough of a racket, they would hear. I will say that would be a major action to do that. So with your
Am I too far them to get to use my move action just to get there?
You're beyond your move action will only move you 30 feet. So you are farther than 30 feet from them.
I'm just gonna try to yell "fuck" as loud
Alright.
as I can.
No
Rito.
roll necessary. You guys all hear him scream at the top of his lungs.
Roll to curse.
All right.
You get the idea that he's probably about 400 to 500 feet away from your ambush location.
And Arel's not back yet either, right?
Arel gets there right as shortly after Arel gets there, like within a minute of her getting there,
Oh,
she kind of, hey guys.
I like the fact that I now make a sound effect when I appear.
It's not a good thing.
No. And Aurel just now comes out of her shadow whenever she sees everyone and goes poof.
Oh,
She
you're
makes
back.
a sound effect.
Exactly.
We were worried
Right.
about you because you said divorce, which we thought was code for things are going bad.
It is. We're not actually getting a divorce, but here's the situation, and I explain what's
Well, we're
happening.
not married, but
So-
okay.
And right as you finish explaining, you hear, fuck!
Was that Pierre?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
Pierre. Okay, where's
you-
Bool? Bool. Hi, Bool.
Hello, Kestrel.
I need you. I'm going to put you up in this tree, buddy, and you're going to secure yourself there, and you're going to record as much as possible. Okay?
Affirmative.
Okay. Your job is to especially record Jael and get all his stuff, and buddy, if I don't make it, I need you to try and get that footage to someone. Maybe that nice girl we met. You're small enough, you might go unnoticed. I don't know. I'm counting on you.
Affirmative.
And I'm gonna carefully put him up in one of the central trees where
Okay.
As she's doing that, I'm just gonna preemptively go into my boulder rolling form.
Okay.
I want to, guys. I want to shadow step back to Pierre and see if I can help him because that did not sound good.
Nope.
Okay. Going back to Pierre, because you used your action to do that, Jael has made the decision that a hostage would be very useful. So as he comes over and makes another attack against you,
Against Pierre.
against Pierre, does a 59 hit your guard?
I leave for one episode, Jody. One episode.
The intent of this attack is not to kill you. It is simply to make it so you cannot resist him.
He would need
So-
a fatal strike. You
My
need to kill
guard
him.
is a 20. That knocks me out completely
But
cold.
did you get a great fairy
No.
from Peyton? Oh.
So effectively all this is by the time you guys
My
show
max
up,
is 29. My max is 34.
you let's say you have 1 hit point because he allows you enough time to get to your senses, and you are effectively his prisoner as he walks you in, beaten and bloody, but conscious. And I will say, because your daggers do not look like daggers when they are in your accordion, he was not smart enough to remove them from you.
Did he take the bomb?
He would have noticed the bomb,
Fuck.
but he
is it
would
one
not
that
have
he can
noticed your-
detonate though? Sorry.
Actually, that's a legitimate question. Is he going to be able to detonate that, or can Aruna
Because
just
I think
do
we
that?
did take the ones.
I can't. I took up the string. I can't do
Okay,
wireless
never mind.
detonation. It has to be connected to a fuse.
We'll work on that later, you and I. Assuming
Yeah,
we
that
survive this.
requires a Sheikah.
Bruna's not talking about that right now.
So, as you guys are getting ready, Arel, you would get to him first as he's being walked, and you can see Pierre looks bad. And he is at the spear point of Jael. And Jael is just walking him forward towards the group.
I have
Okay.
a quick DM question before this gets
Sure.
going.
Good.
I have written down my 1st
Mhm.
great fairy heal that I guess was banked. Next to it in parentheses, I wrote down group. Does that mean it was for the group if one of us goes to 0, or what?
To be perfectly honest, I've got no idea. If you want it to be a group thing,
You could
generally the
throw
way
it,
these are
break it
supposed
on
got-
the
to
ground.
work
As
is
soon
they
as you
just
get
kind
hurt.
of happen. So if you,
But when,
I will say,
when they were banked, yeah, it's a little.
if you want to at a certain point have one or all of these fairy heals just happen to affect Pierre, I'm fine with that.
Well, I've already got 2 others just for myself that improv he just gave me, but the one I've had for forever says group next to it, so I figured you told me it was for.
Yeah, I'm to be blunt for this particular instance. If you wanted to use one or more of them to get Pierre up to fighting stance quickly, that would be up to you. I will not say no to that. Does that make sense?
Sure. Since I guess this isn't really an item that Aruna can use whenever Pierre gets to 0.
Okay.
I'll just have that take effect then.
All right. So, Arel, do you go back to the group? Do you try and attack Jael on your own? What are you thinking?
Sorry, I put a question in the chat for you.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
I was not prepared to
Ooh, a
just be
private
completely, absolutely destroyed.
That is actually a full action. So that takes your major action of movement.
Major and a movement?
Yeah. So
Okay.
theoretically, if you did that before combat starts, you would be able to use it with no penalties. But it would have to be something that happens before initiative is rolled. Otherwise, your first turn, that is what you did to do. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Right.
It's up to you.
But
We do still need a confession.
I know.
Since we need
Shoot,
him
but
in
he's-
that clearing.
But he's going towards.
Yeah,
He's
he's
going to-
effectively prisoner walking Pierre to you guys.
If we
and
pick
Pierre's
up on
like
that,
semi-conscious.
Pierre's walking of his own volition. He just looks hurt.
I have a single hit point.
if we pick up that he's walking towards us, we should probably have him come all the way to us so that we have the environmental advantage.
Right.
I am assuming that he is
This
forcing me
is
to walk
this is
on my
entirely
own.
Arel. You are alone right now.
I
in the-
know.
So
he see
this
me?
is your decision. No, you are
Okay.
sneaky enough.
Snaky? Ooh. Oh, okay. I got
Every
check something.
druid
I'm
be
so sorry,
like-
guys. These are questions I should have asked you before. I'm sorry. I didn't think about it. If it's before initiative?
So, ooh. What you're describing there
Mm-hmm. Because I know we
Would
talked about
work.
doing that. Okay.
would work.
Okay. Then. And how far are we from the rest of the party?
You're about 200 feet at this point.
200 feet. Okay.
You are out. They could only see about 50 feet away because of the foliage. So you are outside of their sight right in and now.
Okay. Then I want Arel to, or I want to sort of, if I can, follow along
Okay.
and wait until like Pierre and Jael are closer to
Okay.
the group.
How close do you want them to be? Within visual range? What are you thinking? There is no role for this. This is you get to pick when your moment is.
Right.
So when do you want your moment?
When they're in visual range, yeah.
Okay. Because from a storytelling perspective, this sounds really epic. I'm going to give you advantage 2 on this.
Come on,
Guys,
I don't know what
we
you're
don't
doing,
know what they're
but-
talking about, so
I know.
Yeah, we have
Yes.
no
Wait.
idea what's going on,
We
Uh,
are
Keep
secrety
looking for the
secreting
messages.
things.
and they're not there.
We are secrety.
So, all of you, from the edge of the forest, from the darkness, you first see Pierre walking forward. His beak is cracked. There's blood running down his face. One of his eyes is swollen shut.
He's got a limp.
He's got a limp. His hands seem to be at his sides. One of them is hanging lower than the other. Bonjour, Sophie.
Kitty. Hello.
He looks rough. Shortly after him, you see the tip of a spear, followed by a large, red, very muscular arm, and then the rest of Jael. That was an interesting trick you pulled. You've made my job much, much harder.
Oh, forgive me. It was my intention to make it easy. No.
Runa at this point is just rolling slowly in place, ready, and assuming Kestrel's going to do the talking.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I'm having a moment.
And by the way, Arel, whenever you decide to interrupt, just go for it.
Okay, perfect. Since they can see us, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shadow form and shadow step into Jael's shadow. I'm sorry.
So to add some
All
things, Jael, to add some mystery to this, Jael's talking, Kess starts snarking back.
I did not snark back. That's my anxiety.
It fits if you would like to snark back. I will say, Kess, as you listen to him going, you all have made this very, very annoying. All you had to do was leave. Now I have to deal with this diary you found. You know, she told me about it. I let her keep it because that's what you do when you are as kind and benevolent as I am. And as he says that, you see Rel behind him, and you watch as Rel starts getting darker and darker, and you watch her turn into a living shadow. And then you watch. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, Kess seeing this is like, okay, I'm gonna keep your focus here. So at what point was at what point did the kindness become murder?
You have no idea what you're talking about. She didn't know what she was doing. She was confused. That
Enlighten us.
sword wasn't even meant to hurt her. He told me.
So as he's explaining this, I'm going to coalesce behind him. Excuse me. And I am going to use Fear of Darkness.
Do I notice Arel at all during this?
All of you would notice Arel slowly turn into a living shadow, and then you watch her creep along the floor, a la, I'm going to make a reference no one is going to get, a la the Double Dragon movie from the 90s that nobody saw.
I don't
That
know
is
that,
a deep,
but I
that is
can
a
clearly
deep
picture
cut.
this.
I can picture it.
She
Deep
crawls along the floor, and then you watch as she replaces his shadow.
Would Pierre see it, considering I assume that I'm still technically in front of him
Pierre,
with my
you
back
wouldn't.
to him?
Pierre's the only one that wouldn't see
because
it.
he's got a spear to my back.
Yeah, so you're the only one that wouldn't see it. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, I'm just like, it would be cool, but I'm currently at 1 hit point and he's got a spear to my back. That doesn't seem right.
So what specifically are you doing? Are you going to try and control him, or are you going to fear him?
I'm not high enough to control him.
Or
am I?
I've got some edibles.
we made a special exemption to this power, since that would kind of be the entire point of the power, that despite the fact of you not having a high enough level for it. One of the feats you took, we just said makes it work. So
Right.
you can if you would like to.
Okay. Then I'm going to use my Steel Shadow and
Okay.
dominate him. And I'm going to use 3 legend points. So that's 5 legend points total.
Okay.
Does that interrupt his confession?
I
Yeah.
have 54.
But does that
do
interrupt his
anything?
confession?
Woo!
Because we're not quite there yet.
Oh,
No,
oh,
yeah.
That's right. We weren't. Sorry.
Well, get it. Let him continue,
Well, you
and
can.
then
We could say you've prepped this. You've replaced his shadow, but you have not quite yet taken action. You are
Okay.
simply mimicking his movements as any shadow would.
Bool
Okay.
is recording this, correct?
Oh, yes.
We hope so.
Good.
He said that sword would unlock her true potential. That she
said?
would be grateful to me, that she would finally understand my feelings for her.
Who said?
And you see the blood drain from his face for a second. No one. Don't worry about it. All I'm saying is it wasn't meant to go that way.
Someone lied to you and forced you to kill someone you claim you love, and you're protecting that person?
She got the wrong idea. See, she found it and she tried to use it against me. And I had no choice. I didn't want to. She loved me, all right? It was real. Everything that happened, I didn't do anything wrong, all right?
You ran her
No.
through with a sword.
That was,
And
You
then
don't
you,
know what you're
claimed
talking
she was
about.
a traitor. I do, actually. And I hold up the fake book. I know everything.
she didn't understand, all right? Her mind was poisoned, all
If
right?
she didn't understand, how did she consent? How do you consent to something you don't understand?
You know what?
Explain
Maybe-
to me. If I don't understand, you explain to me right now.
Maybe it wasn't at first, but she learned to love me. All right?
That's coercion.
Doesn't matter anymore.
It does, actually. Because you've just confessed to raping and killing someone who means the world to me.
And the only people that will ever know that are about to die.
And that's where you're wrong. Aurel?
Magic action.
And you watch
Okay. So
What
I'm
a
going to
scene
dominate him.
transition!
you watch him raise the spear, and Pierre,
Sorry, I deal with bad things with humor.
you feel
Sorry, no, it was great. I needed that moment. 'cause
Yeah,
I
That
was getting
was so. That was so good. That was
Oh.
such great acting.
back to the game.
I'm not
Sorry.
crying.
You feel
My heart.
you feel the spear move back against you. You brace yourself, and then you hear, "Huh!" And Pierre, you can't help but look back, and you see this look of agony on his face as his shadow has stood up behind him and gripped his hand.
Do I know that was? Do I know that to be Aurel?
You have no idea. You
Well,
just see
Jesus Christ.
a living
But
shadow.
I did just say Aurel. Like I
Yeah,
said,
so-
like I gave a cue to Aurel. So that depends how you take that. But
When this happened, I do want Aurel to just say, to yell at Pierre to run. Pierre,
Okay.
run.
I assume
will.
that Zolta has been in a bush this entire time.
Okay.
And during this and the conversation, her eyes start bleeding into red, and she's going to go into a destructive trance.
Okay.
Oh,
So we'll get to that in a
that's
second.
fun.
Make the rest of my
Uh,
cool action turn to Jody.
Arel, you suddenly, as you replace his shadow, you feel very, very different. You feel strong. You feel electricity running through your veins. You feel rage. You feel entitlement. You can feel what he feels.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
You can feel the indignation that he feels for being accused of what he's been accused of. And you can feel in the very last part of the back of his mind this little hint that they're 100% right about what they're saying. And you can feel him trying to repress that. You
I
have
just
the
would like to
following
say
actions available
joke.
to you.
Bleep bloop. Arel has unlocked male privilege.
Welcome.
I needed a laugh.
Kiri,
Yes.
I love you
Take
so
a legend
much.
point, Kiri.
Yep.
Yes.
Kiri, I love you
Uh,
so much.
Chex, you have the following attacks available to you. You have Spear Strike, which is advantage 4, using a might score of 10. Or
So that's what
Lightning
he-
Spear, which is advantage 4, using an energy score of 8. And you have access to the Demoralized Bane, the Persistent Damage Bane, which does a d10 of damage per turn, or the Stunned Bane.
This explains a lot, Jody.
This
is there
is
any way to coax that tiny part of his brain that says, "Oh shit, they're right," out?
at
that
this
within
point,
your
it is a
capabilities?
repressed part of his brain.
Oh, okay. But if we were like treasure diving in his mind, like, "Oh, look what I found! Is this remorse?
We'll get back to you whenever we're able to treasure dive in his mind.
So rare."
So, those are the abilities that you have access to. I will say, trying to use any of them on yourself will be a disadvantage too, just because it's hard to attack yourself and
Get
someone else's body.
Rid of the spear. Get rid of the spear.
You have control of him at least for this round and are currently muted.
Okay. So, what was it? Spear? What was the other one?
Spear Strike and Lightning Spear, the 2 attacks you have.
Okay.
And then 3 of the Banes you can inflict are Demoralize, Persistent Damage, and Stunned.
Okay. Do I stun him or do I get rid of the spear? Because how did he went?
He
had to go
actually
and
has
pick
a
up the
pair
spear, right?
he actually has well, you would know, he has a second short spear on his back that they can't see.
Okay. Then I want to take his short spear and I want to attack himself
Okay,
or me.
I will make the attack.
Okay. I want 3 legend points added to this, please.
Okay, brings it up to a total advantage of 5.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
35 versus guard does hit.
That's it?
This is freaking.
Yeah, that's 15
Well,
damage.
Which means
Oh,
it's
that's
an
right.
over.
He
You had
needs
to,
to
you had to
die.
roll it.
That's over 10.
That's
So-
over 10.
For might-based Banes, you can do Stunned or Demoralized.
Demoralize him.
Demoralized would be disadvantage 3 on all action rolls.
But also, isn't that kind of like a mental thing where like your morale is down, so maybe you'd
Mhm.
be more like willing to be like, "Oh shit, I did bad things." I don't
Well,
know.
literally,
I'm hopeful.
everything he would do would have disadvantage 3 attached to it. So
Yep. I mean, that's also
On all ability checks.
so it is up to you. Which Bane would you like to evoke?
I want to demoralize him.
He
It
is
would be great. I love that. Oh no, the fact that that's said with like a bow tie made me very happy. I want to
I
demoralize.
would
I
like
want
to
to
demoralize
demoralize.
this man.
he is
deserves
demoralized, and I need
demoralized.
everyone to roll initiative for me.
Yay!
Oh wait, I have an agility score in this form.
Boo! I don't like what I got.
All right. Let me get his initiative really quick.
Bonjour, Sophie.
He rolled
Yes!
super well.
Okay, I
Nice.
did better than him.
Good.
Arel, what you got for me?
I got 16.
Cool. Zulta,
11.
11. Kess,
27.
It takes me a while to get out of the bush.
Aruna
44.
Normally does.
Ooh.
and
I
for
told you I
Pierre.
could trip.
21.
Aruna, you are first up.
44. My God.
Ooh.
So
I love that I think only the female identified people heard me say that.
Iruna does not know about the demoralization, but has seen action started to take place. Pierre has hopefully at least gotten into the stance of starting to run away. Doesn't know what
real
Aurel's...
quick. Arel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from Imp. Or take 5 legend points and a reroll token.
Thank you.
And Imp says we need more shenanigans.
That we do.
So with
All
all
right,
that,
sorry.
with
Go
all
for it.
that in place, I guess Kess and maybe Zolta would be close enough to hear the shouting through the spinning boulder of,
Mhm.
if you want to bomb the gun, the black powder, it's right there. And then he'll take off. How far is Jael?
Let's say he's 50 feet.
Hmm.
How about, what's your speed?
45.
How about he's 45 feet?
Excellent. I like that better. And then he...
That sounds good to me.
As an aside, if anyone does choose to spark off the black powder, Zolta's going to assist by throwing the bomb that I assume is in the bush with her.
Okay.
Oh, it's that bush.
Real also quick aside thing. Was he holding the bomb, Jael, when he got attacked by Arel? Could I
Imp
take
says
it before
yes.
I run?
I would say he probably took the bomb off you and then disabled it and threw it away.
Okay.
Because he doesn't need bombs. He has spears.
That
So
bitch.
your bomb is just gone.
Cool.
So I'm gonna...
Never mind.
Sorry. It wouldn't make sense for him to hold something explosive on himself.
I don't know. I attempted.
I'm just gonna plow right into him with a boulder bash.
Go for it.
Spikes whirling into him as well. So,
And I'm hopefully out of the way for this.
I hope so too, since they told you to run.
Jody, do I need to make an agility roll to evade?
I mean, I would see Pierre. I'm trying to hit the massive part of his body that Pierre's not there for. But
Aruna has spent enough time in this form that he can miss a
Okay.
bird.
We will do 4 legend points here.
Okay, good.
Something about 2 birds with 1 stone. There's a joke here.
Two Pierres with
Damn.
one Aruna.
I don't know.
Pierre's always gonna be the joke.
Yes, you were gone long enough. You were cannon fodder.
I feel like Jax might be a little
I
bit
was
bitter.
I was cannon fodder before you joined the show.
Yeah. There was a
He
lot
was the
about barbecue
sacrifice
bird.
for like
I
2
was-
years.
I
That's
never
true.
stopped being the sacrifice. People were talking about throwing my character in a volcano as early as a month into the show.
But were you there?
Yes.
Yeah, he used to make, like, it was really funny. Curie was the one that we came into this with. Well, Curie is massively busy. So when we can have her, we will. And when we can't, we won't. And Alex
And then the
turned into the
pandemic
really
happened.
busy one.
Well, because the pandemic I lost my Saturdays.
Well, and I mean, retail has never been the most
Okay, can I
stable
stop us so we can
schedule.
keep
Yeah, let's
kicking
keep going.
butt?
Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting for
I'm
Aruna's
I'm
roll.
hurrying,
So he's
I'm hurrying.
counting.
Oh,
He's
Oh, I'm
counting, so
sorry.
we can keep to talking.
Remember
until he gives me a
that
roll.
it's a great time to, use those rupees. Press that little ZU shield button.
While you're
Oh.
counting, Elias, did you want to use any of those fairies for Pierre? Or
Oh yeah, sure. If
Well,
you
isn't-
if you let me, then I
Well,
will,
isn't that
yeah.
a major action?
no, we're just going to say that they go off when initiative started. So
That'll be
Okay.
the group
and
grade
when
fairy
I
then.
told her to run.
okay. So
So,
I'll go slash roll 4d6. You have 11 more hit points, Pierre.
I'm at 12.
Yay!
Yay.
All right.
Much better.
The roll against guard is 42.
That
took
is
so long.
only 22 over.
Oh, jeez.
So roll again. No, 22, or you said 42?
42, yeah.
Okay. All right. He takes the damage. So you guys watch as Aruna kind of revs up and then like drifts all the way in to Jael, smacking him.
Fast and Furious, Goron Drift.
I will say
The worst of the Fast and the
The
Furious.
Goron word for Goron City is Tokyo.
Hot take. That movie's the worst one.
Arel, I will say getting hit with a full grown Goron is going to I'd just like you to make me effectively a resist bane. If you just click on guard, toughness, or resolve, you're looking for a 10 or higher to see if you can
20.
Yeah, you are still in control of this guy. But you guys watch as the shadow that has gripped him gets launched off and springs back right onto the top of it.
I get a Bane with that.
Yeah, what do you want to bane him up?
I believe one of the, at least what I have written down here, might-based Banes I can do is disarmed.
Yes, you can.
So just the force of it and the spikes just sort of like unwillingly unhinges his tendon, and the longer spear that he was holding outside of the short spear, I guess, because now he's holding two, flies off at a distance.
So you guys watch as the long decorative spear lands in the ground
And as
15
I
feet away.
smash in, grind into this guy, use the kind of momentum to just like go up and land less than 5 feet away from him, I'm starting to spin in place, gearing up for another attack.
All
That's my
right.
turn.
Okay, that's going to bring us to Kess.
Can I hold action?
Yes. I'm going to kind of treat it very similarly to how you would do it in 5e, which is you need to tell me what you're holding and kind of what trigger you're expecting.
I'm waiting on Zolta
Cool. All right.
because he seems effectively he can't really do anything right now.
Okay.
And I want, unless there's I want her to be able to have her moment of taking revenge, and I don't want to take that from her. So I'm here for support only. So while he is currently unable to move, I'm going to hold action.
Hey, Rel, can you put your Dominate Bane in the chat for me so I can read it real quick?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, you are holding and we're waiting. That did not work.
10 of 10 description.
Wrong one. Roll a
Let me go
dominate
back
attack. Let's do
All
it that way. Just roll a dominate attack.
All right.
That was really fun.
What were we using
I
for
think
that?
is it
Influence?
possible to like ask him what happened to the inspector?
You can question him. He's able to speak. He's just
Okay.
not able to move. She has physical control
That'd
over
be
him.
good to know.
Did you already take care of the inspector?
He needs to pay for conspiring with terrorists.
Needs means still alive.
So he's still alive, which means after you supposedly kill us, because we know that you are in fact a traitorous rapist, you gotta go kill him too? Just checking, Jael. How long of a list of murders do you think you can assign the word traitor to before someone finally goes, seems a bit fishy?
Exactly 7.
Exactly 7.
22, by the way, Shane, you're good. 22.
Okay. No, I just needed to see what it is. So I just
Oh.
looked up the Bane.
Okay, I was doing the same. I needed to paste that in.
Okay, so they do get a resist roll at the end of that attack you made against them. So real quick, I'm going to make a resist roll. Okay, so he's able to resist your domination, Bane. So we're going to say when his turn comes up. So I'll let everyone else get their licks in. But when his turn comes up, Chax, you are going to lose your domination on him.
How close is he to a tree?
Everybody's
Oh,
close to a
okay.
tree.
Like,
How close do you want him to be to a tree, to be
I want
blunt?
one to potentially be like fairly close behind, so I could possibly pin him with a hook shot. Just
Okay. You could come up with that. I would say he's at least 10 feet away from a tree, so someone would need to position him a little bit closer. But that would not be outside the realm of reason.
Please make this happen before my turn.
All right.
how close does he have to be? Because I've got a 60 for my hook shot.
I'm just 10 feet would be a little bit long for me to pin him. If you could get him just 5 feet closer some way, I would be okay with him being pinned.
So could I get an assist from Arel, who's currently still got him this turn?
Yeah, Arel, if you want to, we'll use that influence roll that you had there. We'll use that as your roll. I'm going to say your
Just wanna
influence roll
step
is
in
not
back.
high enough to beat his resolve, but you have rerolls.
This is true. And I have tokens. Guys, I love you very much. He needs to die very painfully. I'm going to use
Bye. Like a butterfly in a display case. Here's a pin. I love you, Imp.
So, season 6 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Dark Willow.
Spoilers.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do know
I
what you're
have-
talking about, but also Elias.
31 is enough to beat it. So you watch him kind of struggling and he moves backwards closer to a tree.
Shot grab, but specifically I am aiming towards his neck. I want
Okay.
to pin him by his neck to the tree because I want it to, because I know that hook shot is big enough that it might be able to embed slightly in the tree, whereas if I were to just push him against it, that's not going to be enough.
Okay. I'm going to say with such an exact aim that you're going for, you are going to have disadvantage 2 on the rubber roll.
Oh no, disadvantage 2. It would be a real shame if I still had that legend point that gave me 100 advantage.
You mean the one that you gave yourself?
Yes.
You are welcome to do it. Go for it.
Do it. Do it.
This
That'd be
is from
98.
our parody game. Kiri gave everyone a single 100 advantage roll, and she's using it for this.
Was
We're
it
about
a
to find
parody
out.
game or a special episode?
Does that
Special
cancel
episode.
out the 2, or do I have to roll it as a 98? It
Uh,
doesn't really
it's a 100 advantage.
matter. Okay.
You just
Okay.
it will cancel out anything. It's 100 advantage. So
Yeah.
you just roll that at 100 advantage.
Gary, can you move
Six.
your mic closer? You're very quiet.
46.
Oh, wonderful.
This
Do you
was the
want to
feel I
reroll?
had.
Do you have a reroll?
I do have a reroll. I have quite a few. I feel like
You're
that's-
welcome. I do have to remind everyone of the law of diminishing returns.
You say that, but
This
I've
is-
seen 60s with this.
Yep. You can definitely get higher than for 46.
You rolled a
I'm saying
59 on me, Jody.
I rolled
you're-
in the 60s in my audition game.
That's true.
if you're expecting a triple digit number
God.
from advantage 100, it's theoretically possible, but
No, not
highly
a triple
unlikely.
digit. I'm just kind of like I've gotten 46 on my own. Oh, it's a 65 range. Oh, good to know.
I
Well,
scored in the single digits earlier.
It was
There
my
we go.
first
I'm
roll, I
happier
think.
with a 58,
Okay.
Okay.
but
Well,
Not
58 is
super useful.
only 38 above his guard.
I guess I'll take it.
oh, only.
So I'm going to say the bane that you would normally inflict is going to be you pinning him to the tree. So you don't get another bane on top of it.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, now he's gonna have a.
So, Kess, you pull out your hook shot, and as you're sitting there saying, "How many more murders are you going to have to pin to traitors?" And as you see him starting to struggle, you just go, "Don't need to know."
It's like, I don't actually. That was a rhetorical question.
Or Cass, was that like a self thought that you were speaking aloud? Because you know that's.
Oh yeah, no, it was the how many murders. That was
Does
actually
he or do
addressed.
you?
This
And as he
Both.
gets stuck to the tree, I step out from the bush.
Okay. So, Cass, as you fire it and you pin it, you feel the chain go slack a little bit as you hold the button you have on there to ensure that it doesn't retract, so that he's pinned to this tree. You hear some rustling beside you, and you watch Zulta in her full destructive trance glory comes out, black blood streaming down from her face, but instead of the sadness or the pain that you've seen on her before, you see steely determination and righteous indignation.
So just so we're clear, whoever your boss is, whether we find him in this realm or another one, your bullshit ends here. Because maybe you got rid of this realm, Zolta. Bitch, motherfucker.
And then I'm going to do my death drain.
Well, before that can happen, Pierre actually has a turn before that.
No,
And so do I.
Such good plot.
So
Oh, wait,
if
my-
you guys,
Damn you,
will-
11.
Don't worry, mine will help you.
Okay.
so let's start with Pierre. Pierre, is there anything you want to do?
I want to resist this fucking thing.
Go for it. Make your resist or roll.
What are
and
you
know
resisting? Didn't the
Stun.
Great Fairy heal?
The
He has a stun. That
Oh.
unfortunately, Great Fairy doesn't cure.
Oh.
I'm gonna
stun.
use a legend point. Wait, can you not use legend points on?
No. A resist roll is just a straight roll. It's just a
Well,
single d20.
Fuck.
Reroll?
If you have a reroll token,
I do have a reroll. Hold on.
again, you're looking for a 10 or higher.
Yep.
So-
I rolled a 3.
No!
a 4. Really, we're only looking at 6 more rerolls to get us as a success. So
I'm gonna use another reroll.
go for it.
Outstanding.
If you would like to
Wrong
send
direction.
Alex reroll tokens,
Those of you that can't see his
You
rolls,
got a
he rolled a
2.
3,
Then
then
a
a
4,
4,
and then a
now
2.
it's a 2.
All right, I got no more reroll tokens. One more time. Come on. Hey!
13. You resist. So that does take your movement, but if you wanted to move, you could use your major action to do the dash. Otherwise, again, you can
I'd
see
get out of the
Zulta coming forward and getting ready to do something nasty to this
The
guy.
Zulta
I'm
So,
going
danger
to
zone.
like dive roll out of the way.
okay. It's
Yeah.
been nice knowing you, dude. Not really, but
Fuck you, man. Roll.
for flavor, my lovely shadow construct, when I go into the destructive trance, can its eyes like glow red and be looking down from the tree that Jal got hook shotted into? And just staring at it?
sure. If you really want to go cuckoo crazy, you could go full like dragoon, where your 3-headed thing kind of possesses you in your destructive trance, and now you have like 3-headed dragon armor.
I don't think I need that.
Okay, that's
I
entirely
just
up
want
to
an
you.
extra intimidation.
That's
thing
perfectly
happening.
I
All right, so
mean,
that's
it would be
Pierre's
hot.
turn. Arel,
I am going to instill fear into this gentleman. Lack
go
of.
for it.
This lack of gentleman.
Yeah, you only have 1 spear left, by the way.
And I want to whisper to him, now it's your turn to get fucked in a way you don't want to be.
Take advantage too for that.
I got a 47. I don't think I
Oh,
need
doesn't
it.
matter. Yes,
go.
he is feared,
Feared.
terrified.
I am a
He
feared.
is
I am
afeared.
taking a feared. Oh no.
Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Let's see.
That would have been your action.
Okay. I am going to move the heck away Because
So you kind of slink away
death coming.
into the shadows of a tree.
I hope this roll goes well.
I have a reroll
Zulta.
token I can give you.
You are up. What do you wanted to do?
I have changed my mind on the construct. I want it to stare down, make eye contact with Jel, and then take off with its shadowy wings, like not being fully formed. So like it's almost like shadows are kind of dripping or wisping off of them, and
Okay.
have it fly straight into me, and have like this shadowy dragoon armor come up
Okay.
as I step forward, and go, "You have no power over me anymore." And then just like death drain.
Go for it.
So I normally have 6 advantage. In this state, I have a +1, and I'm going to use 12 legend points.
Go for
Do
it.
it.
So, and I have 2 reroll tokens.
That's 19
So-
legend points, I think.
Elias's face brings
Yeah,
me
that's
such
19
joy in
legend
that moment.
points. And the whatever number that is might not be the number because I also have dice explode on the number below a crit.
Okay,
in
so
this
we'll
state.
we'll do
So-
that in just a second. So hold on one second. From Imp, a reroll token for Pierre. Remember
Thank
when we
God.
used to make fun of Elias's rolls?
Aw.
I do.
Look, most of my
I do.
bad rolls are now
Okay,
as a player.
it's getting late, so Ilea, make your roll.
Okay, so I got a 33. I feel like, let me check on this. Oh, I got a 19 on the 20, so I got to re-roll that.
Okay.
So let's see what happens with that. Okay, so if we say that's 47, I really want to kill him. Would that be enough to kill him?
Claim your kill.
So as I mentioned, the Buffy the Vampire episode before, that was a very long time ago. No actual spoilers. Sorry if you haven't seen it yet. He is trapped on a tree, and I would like my death drain to drain his energy in a way where the skin peels back from his chest and he becomes filleted alive. As you can see, tendrils of blood and what it seems to be energy. You're not sure because, you know, life energy is kind of amorphous as it's just slowly being taken from him in a long stream and being absorbed into Zolta as she takes his power fully away from him, and he becomes a slowly desiccated corpse in the
Okay.
most painful way possible.
So
Yeah, Shax makes a good point. This is really not helping your whole. I'm not actually.
I'll allow
So-
you
We
on
all
this
deal
one.
with trauma
this
in
one
our
time.
own ways.
Zulta steps forward. She looks at him. As she does, her shadow beast lifts off, shadows trailing, starts moving towards her. His eyes look at her. You could see him kind of biting back words as he can't speak because there's no air to get to his lips. The shadow beast enters Zulta. She kind of closes her eyes, looks up. You have no power over me. An explosion of entropic energy happens. You watch as scaled armor appears on her body. You see as one of the heads comes and envelops her, creating a helmet. The other 2 heads appear on each of her pauldrons. Now, fully wielding the immense power at her, she walks forward, she extends her hand, and this bolt of entropic energy hits him in the chest. She starts going forward and she starts gesturing back, and you watch as his chest starts to bulge outward as energy starts being sucked forward. She goes with her other hand, another bolt goes forward, gets him in the chest. You see blood start to pool, start to slowly get ripped back as she goes forward, drawing more of it. You could see it going into her mouth. You could see it kind of infusing her armor even more, going more from this shadowy armor to a fully formed metallic physical version of armor as she just keeps going further and further. You watch as more of his body desiccates itself, wrinkles appearing, his eyes going wide, his pupils dilating. He starts to merge into the tree slightly as more and more and more of him is just ripped away. She finally gets to where she was within inches of him. She reaches in and grabs his still beating heart, leans very, very close. And is there one last final thing you want to say before you snuff him out?
We didn't hear that.
We didn't hear that. You might have been muted.
I'm not muted. I just said it very quietly.
Okay, good.
So I am like very close to him, right?
Yeah,
And
I
so-
like nose to nose.
I go, I win. Hold
And
me
with
out.
that, she squeezes the heart, and you watch the last of his essence fade out of him. As I step back, the destructive trance is receding. Mhm.
I go to the bush. I get out the giant comfortable blanket, and I go, I'm going to go to sleep now. And I wrap myself in the burrito near Aruna because I know he can carry me places.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Oh, I'm shaking. That was so good.
Wow.
Kess is gonna release the hook shot, so he just like slumps down to the ground. Like, good
Well, at that point, he is effectively a part of the tree. The desiccation itself
there you go.
has effectively the last bits of his being have kind of merged with this tree.
I'd like to search his person as much as one could.
Is there
Sure.
a person left to search?
I just want to see if he's well, it sounds like he probably doesn't have the diary on him by the way he was talking. And it sounds like our Poirot is in some way still alive, which means he might be imprisoned.
Okay.
I get
Depending, but I want to see if there's like any clue.
If you were the GM right now, what would you want to find on him?
I don't know. I need some sort of idea of what next because yeah, we've brought justice, but now
Can
Yeah,
I
Prison
somehow-
keys.
Can I
His
use my
own
pre-science?
diary of all of his deeds.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
so-
find
yeah.
you find a confession on him, written is his handwriting. However, it is signed by the inspector, claiming that the inspector had allied himself with terrorists and was attempting to assassinate the king with you.
okay, well, this is now mine.
Can I use pre-science real quick to see, because I have Mind Dredge, which is like I can gain access to current thoughts, or can I use my pre-science to see if I can figure out where exactly the inspector is right now?
Sure, I'll say no roll is needed since he really can't resist much of anything now. He is in Jael has effectively what should have been a panic room in his estate that he has converted to a holding cell that he has him waiting in.
Okay. He's alive. He's in a holding cell in, I guess, he has an estate. We'll have to figure out where that is, but if we can find it, he's there.
Do you happen to know where that would be?
Would I be able to figure that out?
No, I was asking
Yeah, it's
my
public
wife.
knowledge.
Okay.
He the head of the guard actually has an estate, or the personal guard of the king has an estate right next to the palace.
Oh, well, that makes
It's one of the perks of the job, kind of like the governor's mansion. Same basic
Got
thing.
it.
Whoever is in that position gets is a very nice house. So
I'm gonna go get Pool
okay,
and be like, "Did you get all that, buddy?
affirmative.
Could you do me a favor and cut it right before Zolta came in?"
Unfortunately, my recording devices malfunctioned for that particular portion.
Awesome.
Blue got death trade.
It's not even that. It's literally the fact of I'm like, depending who we show it to, I don't want to freak a bunch of people out in seeing Zolta like, yes, it was really disturbing what she did, but also it's like I don't want
Let's
to,
not
like,
talk. Let's show them that part.
yeah.
It
um,
just
Google
goes
does
static
wink
after all
after
whispers.
talking about losing the data.
Bull has a face.
You are the best.
I know.
Yes. Of course, Bull
What?
has a face.
Zolta is resting peacefully in her burrito.
I didn't know
Bull,
Bull had
you
a
are the best
face.
little droid anyone could ever ask for.
And
So-
with
Okay.
that, unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it. for today. As always, if you missed any of this episode, probably one of the best episodes we have ever done, you can watch the entire series right here on twitch.tv/Zelda Universe to the TV. Check out the YouTube channel. There's tons of really cool stuff there. Check out zeldauniverse.net. There are amazing articles on there that go up all the time. My personal favorite talks about there's an entire series on the music of Zelda, right? That I can't remember what it's called. It's like Mary's Melodies or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway, check all that stuff out. Otherwise, we will when we come back in the new year, and we will be coming back, I promise you. We will deal with the last parts of this and hopefully getting them to wherever they're going then the next. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I feel like this again was one of the best episodes we have ever done. I think we were able to handle some very difficult topics with decorum that is necessary for it. And yeah, I hope everybody in chat enjoyed this. Because I'm incredibly proud of the cast and just how amazing they were able to handle a very, very difficult thing to handle. So anyway, that is all for me today, and I'll see you guys next year. Oh, by the way, very, very quickly before we go, I am every Wednesday I'm running a one-shot for a different system. This Wednesday I'm going to be running a one-shot for the Avatar Legends system. Is the new Avatar The Last Airbender RPG. If anyone's interested in playing in that, shoot me a message on Twitter. Otherwise, yes, again, it's all for me. See you guys next year. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.